Maya Sterling Forties is on top of the world. She's just been nominated CEO of the financial empire she helped build. But as she accepts the applause, her brother-in-law, Robert, stares at her not with pride, but with the cold calculation of a man about to stage a hostile takeover. The same man sits next to Maya's sister-in-law, Diane, who dabs her eyes falsely. A judge slams a gavel, ruling that Maya is mentally unfit. In one heartbeat, her company is stolen. In the next, her beloved 10-year-old niece Sarah is ripped from her arms. To steal her company, they had to destroy her family. They made one mistake. They left her mind. A gleaming glass tower in a major city. The Sterling Capital logo is prominently displayed. A high-powered meeting. Maya Sterling, 40s, power suit, confident, stands before a screen displaying complex financial charts. The board, including Chairman Henderson, watches intently. Maya. The Q3 projections are solid. By restructuring the venture capital portfolio and divesting from the underperforming tech startups, we're looking at a 15% increase in shareholder value by year's end. My full report is here. She clicks a remote. The final chart shows a steep upward trend. Henderson? Impressive, Maya. As always, this is exactly the kind of strategic foresight this company needs. In light of your brother's absence, the board would like to formalize your role. We're recommending you for the permanent CEO position. Murmurs of approval from the board. Maya allows a small, proud smile. Across the table, Robert Sterling, 40s, smug but anxious, forces a tight smile, his knuckles white as he grips a pen. Robert, of course. Maya is an asset. Henderson looks at Robert, a hint of disdain in his eyes. Henderson. Yes. Well, we'll vote next week. Congratulations, Maya. The office is spacious, decorated with photos of Maya with her late brother and her niece, Sarah. Maya is on the phone, beaming. Maya, into phone. Yes, I know. It's exciting. We'll celebrate tonight, okay? Just me and you. Pick the restaurant. She hangs up as Diane enters, closing the door behind her. Diane's eyes are red-rimmed. She looks vulnerable. Diane. Maya. I heard about the board meeting. That's wonderful. Maya? Diane? What's wrong? Diane? It's about Sarah. I've been seeing a therapist. For years, actually. And we've come to a difficult realization. Maya's smile fades, concern replacing it. Maya. What are you talking about? Diane. Voice trembling. The trauma of losing my husband. Your brother, it was too much. And seeing you every day, the way you control Sarah's life, it's triggered something. My therapist says I need to reclaim my role as her mother. Fully. And that for Sarah's emotional safety, she needs to be away from the source of the confusion. Maya? Away from me. Diane. I'm not a source of confusion. I'm her family. I've raised her since she was 6. You agreed to this arrangement. Diane, greater than I was in mourning. I wasn't thinking clearly. But now, I am. And I have a responsibility. Diane pulls a folded document from her expensive handbag and places it on Maya's desk. It's a legal form. Diane, you're being served. Robert and I are seeking full custody. And we've filed for a temporary emergency order based on my therapist's evaluation. Maya? An evaluation? What evaluation? This is insane. Diane, the evaluation stating that your high-stress lifestyle and emotional detachment make you an unfit guardian. Maya is speechless. Diane's vulnerability vanishes, replaced by a cold, hard stare. Diane, you should have let Robert be CEO, Maya. You should have stayed in your lane. Diane turns and leaves. Maya stares at the legal document, the photo of her and Sarah smiling on her desk now a cruel mockery, a sterile, intimidating courtroom. Judge Eldridge presides. Maya sits with her attorney, Amanda Reeves. Diane sits with Robert and a slick, expensive lawyer, M.R. Vance. Your Honor, the psychological evaluation from Dr. Ellis is clear. The petitioner, Miss Sterling, while well-intentioned, exhibits signs of caretaker control disorder, creating an unhealthy codependency with the minor child. The mother, Diane Sterling, is ready and emotionally capable of resuming her natural role. Judge Eldridge, Ms. Reeves, Amanda. Your Honor, this evaluation was based on 2 sessions with the mother's hand-picked therapist. There has been no independent evaluation of my client who has provided a stable, loving home for the child for 4 years. This is a custody grab, pure and simple. Judge Eldridge, be that as it may, the court must err on the side of caution regarding a parent's mental fitness. The emergency order is granted pending a full hearing. The child will reside with the mother, Diane Sterling, effective immediately. Supervised visitation for the aunt. Maya looks like she's been physically struck. Amanda puts a steadying hand on her arm. Maya stands, stunned. Robert and Diane walk past her. Robert leans in. Robert. Oh, and the board voted this morning. They couldn't have a CEO under a cloud of mental instability. Henderson sends his regrets. I'm interim CEO. Robert smirks and follows Diane to a waiting car. They drive off with Sarah in the back seat, who turns to look longingly at Maya through the rear window. Maya paces. Amanda studies documents. Maya. She's poisoning Sarah against me. I know it. We have to fight this, Amanda. We will. But in court, we need more than emotion. We need a weapon. Vance is good. Diane's performance is better. We need to prove the evaluation is a fraud, which means we need to find a crack in Dr. Ellis. Maya, what if the crack is bigger than that? What if this isn't just about Sarah? Robert is interim CEO. They just consolidated power over my entire life in 1 week. The custody case gives them leverage. It's a hostile takeover of my family and my company. Amanda leans forward, a glint in her eye. Amanda, now you're thinking like a lawyer. So let's stop treating this like a family matter and start treating it like the corporate fraud case it is. Robert is celebrating with a bottle of scotch. He's on the phone, drunk. Robert? Into phone. I told you, Vance, the stock is going to dip on the news of Maya's leave. That's when we buy. Diane gets full custody of the company, and we split the trust. It's a clean sweep. He doesn't notice the door slightly ajar. A janitor is mopping the hallway outside, listening. Maya and Amanda work like detectives. They dig into Dr. Ellis's financials. They find he's heavily in debt. They cross-reference his records with Robert's and Diane's. They find a payment from a shell company that traces back to a holding company Robert controls. Close on. A bank statement. A transfer of $50,000 from RDS Holdings to Dr. Ellis's personal account dated 1 week before the court hearing. Family court. The full hearing. The courtroom is packed. Judge Eldridge presides. Dr. Ellis is on the stand, testifying confidently. Mr. Vance? And in your professional opinion, Dr. Ellis, is it in the best interest of the child to remain with Maya Sterling? Dr. Ellis, absolutely not. The child needs the emotional stability only a biological parent can provide. Miss Sterling's profile is that of a classic enabler. Amanda? Dr. Ellis, you mentioned Miss Sterling's profile. You diagnosed her without ever meeting her? Dr. Ellis, it's a pattern-based assessment. Amanda, greater than I see. Let's talk about patterns. Can you explain the pattern of deposits into your personal bank account from a company called RDS Holdings? Dr. Ellis freezes. Vance stands up. MR, Vance, relevant. Amanda, it goes directly to bias and financial motivation, Your Honor. RDS Holdings is controlled by Robert Sterling, the petitioner's husband, and the defendant in a separate corporate fraud investigation. The courtroom buzzes. Judge Eldridge glares. Judge Eldridge overruled. Answer the question, Doctor. Dr. Ellis stammers, looking at Robert, who is pale. Dr. Ellis, greater than it was a consultation fee for family consulting. Amanda, greater than a $50,000 consultation fee paid the week you filed a fraudulent evaluation designed to destroy my client's family? You are a bought and paid for witness in a hostile takeover, and you have committed perjury in this court. The prosecution rests its case against Diane and Robert's scheme. The judge calls both parties forward. Sarah is brought in by a court-appointed advocate, Judge Eldridge. In light of the evidence presented regarding the fraudulent nature of the psychological evaluation, the emergency order is hereby vacated. Furthermore, this court finds that Diane and Robert Sterling conspired to manipulate these proceedings. He looks at Sarah, then at Maya. Judge Eldridge. The court has also had a private conversation with the minor child. It is the ruling of this court that full permanent custody be returned to Maya Sterling immediately. A referral for perjury and conspiracy charges is being sent to the district attorney's office. Diane lets out a theatrical wail. Robert looks shell-shocked. Maya walks out, holding Sarah's hand. They are met by a swarm of reporters. Behind them, a somber-looking Mr. Henderson approaches. Reporter! Miss Sterling, any comment on the corporate investigation? Maya. Only that the truth has a way of coming out. In the courts and in the boardroom. Henderson. Maya. The board met an hour ago. We saw the news. Robert's interim status has been terminated. We'd like you to reconsider the CEO position. Permanently. Maya looks at Sarah, who smiles up at her. She looks back at Henderson. Maya, Mr. Henderson, I'll be happy to return as soon as I finish walking my niece to get ice cream. Some dividends are more important than others. She gives him a polite nod and walks away with Sarah, leaving the chaos of the courthouse and the corporate world behind. For now,